Imagine this. You're talking to her, sharing a quiet moment, and something feels off. There's a tension you can't name, a subtle shadow over her smile. You try to ask her what's wrong, and she laughs it off, brushes it aside. But inside, you feel it, the pull of a hidden truth, something she's not telling you. Most men miss this because it's invisible unless you know what to look for. I want to teach you how to see it, how to recognize the signs women hide when they're keeping deep feelings secret, whether it's fear, pain, or uncertainty. And yes, it's possible to notice it without pushing her away. First, let's talk about the subtle changes in her attention. Women who are hiding emotions often overcompensate. She might text you constantly, almost like she's afraid you'll slip away. Or she might do the opposite, pull back unexpectedly, leaving you feeling confused. Both extremes are signals, not randomness. The key is consistency. A woman comfortable with her feelings will show a steady pattern. When that pattern breaks, pay attention. Her mind is signaling something, and you can see it if you learn to read the little cracks in her behavior. Then there's the way she communicates. Watch for pauses, sudden changes in tone, or the words she avoids. If she answers questions with vague, overly cautious language, it's a shield. She's protecting herself from vulnerability and possibly from revealing something important. These small linguistic cues are like footprints in the sand. Tiny, easy to miss, but they map her inner world if you know how to read them. Body language is another layer. The tilt of her head, the flicker of her eyes, the way her fingers touch a glass or her hair, these are not random movements. They're subconscious signals of inner conflict. A woman who's hiding feelings will often unconsciously create physical barriers. Crossed arms, leaning away, avoiding eye contact at key moments. If you see these micro behaviors while her words say something else, trust the non-verbal message. It's telling you more than her words ever could. Before we move on, I need you to do something. Hit that like button if you're ready to start seeing what others miss, and subscribe so you don't miss the hidden truths I'm about to reveal. What you're learning here isn't common. It's subtle, psychological, and powerful. And if you can recognize these early signs, you gain clarity, confidence, and the edge in any relationship. Now, let's dive deeper into the quiet signals that reveal what she's hiding. One of the most powerful is emotional overcorrection. You've probably seen it. She laughs a little too loudly at your jokes or insists she's totally fine when you can see the tension in her eyes. That overcompensation is her way of controlling the narrative. She doesn't want you to see the truth. Most men dismiss this as harmless, but it's a subtle cry for understanding, and if you ignore it, you'll never grasp what's really going on beneath the surface. Next, pay attention to the little slips, the moments she forgets to filter, even for a second. A sigh that lasts too long, a gaze that drifts just a fraction too far, a word that stumbles out before she corrects herself. These fleeting behaviors are the fingerprints of hidden emotion. Women can be masters of masking feelings, but the body rarely lies. When you learn to notice these micro-signals, you start to see what most men never even realize exists. Notice her patterns with space and availability. A woman hiding something might suddenly become distant or unreachable at odd times. She might say she's busy, even when you know she isn't, or she may overschedule herself with friends and commitments. This isn't rejection. It's a coping mechanism. She's managing vulnerability, trying to stay in control while her feelings churn beneath the surface. Understanding this allows you to respond with calm presence instead of frustration. Another critical point, the way she frames conversations. She may redirect or deflect when certain topics arise, changing the subject subtly, almost imperceptibly. These shifts are like psychological breadcrumbs. She's guiding you away from a truth she isn't ready to reveal. Men who react with anger or suspicion often push her further into secrecy. The smarter approach is to watch, listen, and recognize the pattern without judgment. That patience gives you insight she will eventually trust you enough to share. And here's the thing most men overlook. Silence is as telling as speech. When she's quiet or responds with a hesitant, "I don't know," don't assume disinterest. That hesitation often masks intense thought, worry, or hidden feelings. It's in these pauses that you can sense the weight she carries. Learn to read the silence as a language. It's one she cannot fully hide, even when she tries. Keep your focus sharp. Notice her small inconsistencies and subtle shifts. They're never random. They are the signals of her inner world, hidden but readable if you pay attention. Now let's uncover one of the most misunderstood signals: her level of engagement. A woman hiding feelings often tests boundaries without realizing it. She'll drop hints, small questions, seemingly casual comments, or subtle mentions of other people in her life. It's not flirtation, and it's not manipulation. It's a way for her to gauge your reaction, to see if it's safe to reveal the truth. Most men miss this entirely because they're focused on the words, not the intent behind them. The truth hides between the lines, in what she leaves unsaid. Notice also how she treats physical contact. A fleeting touch, a brush of the hand, or leaning slightly closer than necessary can be loaded with meaning. At the same time, she might pull back abruptly or create physical distance at moments that seem random. These contradictions aren't inconsistency, they're signs of inner conflict. She's wrestling with feelings she isn't ready to express openly. The key is to observe without overreacting. Your calm attention signals safety, and women reveal their truths to those who remain steady. Another layer is emotional mirroring. If she mirrors your tone, your pace, your gestures, but does so inconsistently, she's trying to synchronize with you while simultaneously holding back. Emotional mirroring is natural in connection, but when it's fractured, it's a sign she's concealing something important. The split between her words and her actions is the bridge to understanding her hidden world. Look at the stories she tells. What she chooses to share and what she leaves out is incredibly telling. She might recount experiences in ways that omit emotional weight or gloss over details, not out of deceit, but out of fear. Fear of judgment, fear of vulnerability, fear of exposing herself too soon. Men who overlook these omissions rarely see the deeper patterns. The gaps in her storytelling often speak louder than the words themselves. Finally, observe her energy. Is she vibrant in some moments but withdrawn in others? Does her excitement feel calculated or her laughter a touch forced? These fluctuations aren't mood swings. They're signs of a mind carefully managing its exposure. Every subtle hesitation, every flicker of doubt, every guarded smile is a window into what she's hiding. The truth is this: women reveal more with micro-expressions, pauses, and subtle behaviors than with any direct statement. Once you start recognizing these patterns, you stop being in the dark and you gain a rare advantage most men never even know exists. Now let's talk about the patterns of avoidance that most men completely miss. A woman hiding something often subconsciously creates diversions. She'll laugh at serious moments, bring up unrelated topics, or even ask questions that redirect attention to you instead of herself. This isn't manipulation in the malicious sense, it's self-preservation. Her mind is guarding feelings she isn't ready to expose, and she's testing whether it's safe to do so. The danger for you is thinking these diversions are meaningless. They're not. Every redirection is a breadcrumb, a tiny thread pointing to what she's concealing. Pay attention to her social interactions. Women who are hiding emotions will sometimes perform for others, laughing louder in group settings, masking tension with exaggerated friendliness. This isn't a show for you alone. It's a protective mechanism, a way to stabilize herself emotionally. The gap between her public persona and private reality is where the truth hides. Men who fail to notice this often misread confidence for emotional transparency. Confidence can mask deep vulnerability. Look at her reactions to your attention. If she retreats when you lean in emotionally or seems suddenly uneasy when conversations get personal, she's creating safe space for her secrets. But if she then reaches out at unexpected times, texts you without reason, checks in when she thinks you're busy, that's her hidden feelings trying to surface. Women oscillate between distance and connection when protecting emotions. The more you notice this rhythm, the clearer it becomes that something significant is being held back. Body language again becomes a critical clue. Even subtle movements, tilting her head, touching her neck, adjusting her posture, can indicate discomfort or guardedness. These micro-movements reveal emotional tension she may not verbally express. Watch for inconsistencies. Words that say, "I'm fine," paired with restless hands or shifting weight, reveal an inner struggle. The contradictions between what she says and what she does are the roadmap to understanding her hidden emotional landscape. Finally, observe her timing. When she shares personal details, they often come in small, fragmented bursts rather than full disclosures. She's testing the water, measuring your response before revealing more. Men who panic or demand clarity too soon push her further into secrecy. Patience and calm observation are your most powerful tools here. Recognizing these patterns isn't about manipulation, it's about insight. It's about seeing the truth she hasn't told anyone and responding in a way that builds trust rather than fear. When you start to notice these behaviors consistently, a picture begins to emerge, one that most men never even suspect exists. You'll see the tension behind her laughter, the hesitation behind her words, and the truths hidden in silence. Let's talk about the signals that are nearly invisible, yet impossible to ignore once you know what to look for. One of the most revealing is emotional leakage. Even the most composed woman can't fully mask her feelings. A fleeting sigh, a barely there frown, a subtle quiver in her voice. These are cracks in the armor. Most men miss them because they focus on the words, not the emotions behind them. But these micro signals are the truth slipping out. They tell you exactly what she's holding inside. Pay attention to her eyes. They are the most honest part of her body. When she's hiding something, her gaze will shift strangely. She might avoid eye contact when a certain topic arises, then immediately glance back, almost as if testing your reaction. Or her eyes may linger too long, searching for reassurance, gauging how safe it is to reveal more. The eyes communicate what the mouth cannot, and reading them can give you insight into her inner world. Notice also her energy around you. A woman with hidden feelings often exhibits a subtle tension, her movements slightly restrained, her gestures measured. She might hesitate before speaking or over-explain simple thoughts. That tension isn't random, it's a protective mechanism. Her body is trying to control exposure, while her mind navigates a storm of emotions she hasn't yet shared. The more you notice these discrepancies, the clearer the picture becomes. Words themselves can betray her. She may overuse qualifiers like, I guess, maybe, or it's fine, even when nothing seems wrong. These words are shields, linguistic defenses designed to keep you from probing too deeply. Men who ignore these patterns often think she's indifferent, when in reality, her emotional world is intense and carefully guarded. Understanding her language gives you access to the truth hidden in plain sight. Finally, look at the rhythm of her behavior. Women hiding feelings often alternate between closeness and distance. She might text obsessively one day and withdraw the next. She laughs, she teases, she pulls back, all within the same hour. This oscillation isn't inconsistency. It's a reflection of internal struggle. She's navigating vulnerability while trying to maintain control. The men who notice the pattern gain clarity, insight, and an almost instinctive understanding of what's unspoken. By now, you should realize that hidden feelings are never truly hidden. They're just subtle, layered, and easy to misread. The key is observation, patience, and emotional intelligence. Once you can recognize these cues, you no longer operate in the dark. You see the woman in front of you clearly, even when she isn't ready to speak. Now, let's uncover the subconscious strategies women use when protecting their hearts. Behaviors that most men completely misread. A woman hiding deep feelings often tests your emotional boundaries without realizing it. She might drop hints of jealousy, casually mention other men, or express exaggerated frustration over minor things. This isn't manipulation, it's a way for her subconscious to gauge your reaction. She's silently asking, "Can I trust you with my truth?" Men who respond with defensiveness or irritation push her further into secrecy. The ones who observe, stay calm, and respond with subtle reassurance begin to earn glimpses into her inner world. Watch her curiosity about your life. A woman holding back emotions often asks seemingly innocent questions, but they're loaded with intent. She's mapping your thoughts, values, and emotional responses, searching for safety in your reactions. A man who ignores this misses the fact that her questions are a doorway. Every subtle inquiry, every lingering topic, is her mind negotiating whether it's safe to reveal herself. Pay attention to the patterns, not the individual questions. They're the roadmap to her hidden feelings. Notice the tension between her words and her actions. She may insist she's fine or indifferent, yet her body moves toward you, her tone softens when you engage, or her presence lingers longer than necessary. This contradiction isn't accidental. Women unconsciously use proximity, attention, and small gestures to communicate what they can't say outright. Men who see only the words will misread the truth, while those who watch the alignment or misalignment between words and behavior gain insight that most never get. Her emotional defenses are subtle but telling. If she changes the subject, laughs nervously, or even pretends to be overly casual, it's her way of controlling exposure. Hidden feelings, especially ones she fears could be judged or rejected, require protection. The more you notice these defenses, the more you understand her vulnerability. And when you respond with steadiness and patience, she starts to let down those walls, even unconsciously. Finally, her timing is crucial. She might reveal pieces of herself in fragments during moments of safety or spontaneity. These moments are not random. They're carefully chosen by her subconscious. Every pause, every hesitant disclosure, every flicker of attention is part of a pattern. The men who recognize this pattern gain a rare advantage, the ability to connect with her truth before it's spoken. Once you understand these signals, you begin to see her not just as a woman with hidden feelings, but as a complex emotional landscape full of desire, fear, and longing. And recognizing this changes everything: how you relate, how you respond, and ultimately, how she allows you in.